You've heard this story: a prophet, a ship, a storm, a fish. But what if I told you that's not what this story is really about? This is not just a tale of a man who disobeyed. It's a story about a man who couldn't accept that God might be kinder than he is. The story of Jonah is raw, painful, human, and far more relevant today than most of us realize. What happens when God sends you to help the very people you hate? What happens when your calling and your comfort are enemies? This is not a story for children. This is for the angry, for the bitter, for those who are hiding from a call they don't want. This is the untold heart of Jonah, and the God who wouldn't stop pursuing him. Arise, go to Nineveh, cry out against it. That's all God said. A clear mission, simple, direct, but everything in Jonah said no. Nineveh wasn't just a random city. It was violent, pagan, the capital of Assyria, Israel's enemy. To Jonah, Nineveh wasn't just wicked. It was unworthy of mercy. So he ran, bought a ticket for Tarshish, 2,500 miles in the opposite direction. You can disobey with your words, but you can also disobey with your feet. And Jonah thought distance could cancel destiny. But it never does. God doesn't stop calling just because you start running. The ship set sail. Jonah went down to the lowest deck, and he slept. But God sent a storm, not to sink the ship, but to shake Jonah awake. The sailors cried out to the gods, threw cargo overboard. Panic was everywhere, except with Jonah, who slept through it. The captain yelled, "How can you sleep? Get up. Call on your God." They cast lots. The lot fell to Jonah. And when they asked who he was, he said, "I'm a Hebrew. I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land." He didn't deny anything, but he didn't repent either. Jonah would rather die than change. He said, "Throw me into the sea. The storm is because of me." They did, and the sea went calm. But Jonah began to sink, deeper than water, into regret, into guilt, into the belly of discipline. God prepared a great fish. It swallowed Jonah, and for 3 days and 3 nights, he sat in silence, in darkness, in the stink and pressure of his own rebellion. He wasn't dead, but he wasn't fully alive. He was paused, and it was here, only here, that Jonah prayed. "I cried out to the Lord in my distress. Out of the belly of hell, I cried. And you heard me." When your pride is broken, and your escape plan fails, you finally whisper what you should have said long ago. "God, I surrender." Jonah realized, salvation is of the Lord, not mine, not earned, not chosen by me. And God spoke to the fish, and Jonah was vomited out, onto dry land, covered in shame, but alive, and ready. God came again. Same message. "Arise, go to Nineveh, preach what I tell you." Jonah obeyed. He walked into Nineveh, a city so big it took 3 days to cross. And he gave them one sentence: 40 days more, and Nineveh will be overthrown. No gospel, no hope, just judgment. But something miraculous happened. The people believed. The king removed his robe, sat in ashes, declared a fast for man and beast alike. And God relented, forgave, spared the city. And Jonah, he was furious. He sat outside the city, sulking. "I knew you were merciful. I knew you'd forgive them. That's why I ran." Jonah would rather die than see mercy extended to people he hated. His pride was louder than his prophecy. Jonah built a shelter. God made a plant grow over it to shade him. And Jonah was happy. Then, God sent a worm. The plant died. The sun beat down. And Jonah begged to die again. And God said, "You care about a plant, but you don't care about 120,000 people who don't know their right hand from their left." The book ends. No answer from Jonah. No redemption arc. Because the message wasn't about what Jonah would do. It was about what we will do. Do we rejoice when our enemies are saved? Or do we sulk when God shows them mercy? Do we run from God's call because it offends our politics, our pride, or our pain? The fish was never the punishment. The real trap was Jonah's heart. Jonah reminds us, you can preach to thousands and still need a private correction from God. You can know theology and still run from obedience. But God still calls, still storms, still saves. And if you're in a dark place now, not sure where you're headed, it might not be your punishment. It might be your pause. God prepares storms to stop us, fishes to protect us, and second chances to remind us. Mercy isn't for the worthy, it's for the willing. So today, if you've been running, stop. God is still speaking. And yes, He still sends prophets into enemy territory.